positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope's gifted. There's zero fake, hydration like Boucher. Don't focus on a date, we always here for you. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, don't make them yours. What we want is a limit, not your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Thursdays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, don't make them yours. What we want is a limit, not your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Thursdays on the porch. You can walk the brand with no award toys. This culture meets the art, podcast with the heart. Essence of the growth, the powers in the people. Without you, we ain't equal. What we lack is ego. We're back now, so here we go. Run the show like Arsenio, episodic, our rituals, minds change to visual. Representation of our nation and its differences. Some explanation of our uniqueness and innocence. Mass media's intention is to desensitize. We raise the wise, and knowledge is power. Without it, we turn coward and proud of a known product. Like we could take it with us. I wish the greats were still alive and here with us, but it is what it is. We're left here to share our gift, and that's precisely what we'll do with it. Shape shift and fluidly, we can pass this.
Welcome in, everyone, to the livest media, tech, and pop culture party in the land. This is MediaScope, in case you didn't know. And yeah, I've been gone for a couple of weeks. That doesn't matter. I am back now. In case you don't know who I am, allow me to introduce myself to you. My name is Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer. I'm also a journalist. We are here every week, usually on Wednesday. Sometimes if there's something special going on, we'll do a Thursday, but Wednesdays are our day. It's too hard to say in one, but anyway, here we go. These are our details. We are live Fridays. No, why am I saying Fridays? Wednesdays, never Fridays. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time on all the wonderful places you see there. In addition, Thursdays at 2 p.m. If you happen to be a lucky individual that listens to us and other shows on Gospel 107.1 FM in Nassau, Bahamas, and the rest of the Caribbean, we wish you blessings. So let me bless everybody else as well, since I've given Gospel 107 their just due. Hello to everybody watching on the Book Face. That's right, Book Face or Facebook, whatever you want to call it. Welcome in. If you're watching on YouTube, the tubing of the U, welcome in. And let me just say, I have not acknowledged this before, really. So I'm acknowledging it now. Thank you for my personal YouTube page. I am at 15,400 plus, almost 15,500. So everybody who has subscribed to me on YouTube, thank you. And if you have not, why not? You're already watching, and the experience is so much better on YouTube. You could watch it on the TV. You could do other things. Look at that. And you can talk on the phone at the same time. You and your friend can discuss all the wonderful stories on MediaScope. So go ahead and like and subscribe, and please share with friends, definitely. All right, so what we have to do now is see what's happening. We've got some folks here on Instagram. So Instagram, what's up? How are you? If you're watching on LinkedIn, hello. Maybe you're watching, no, that's who, Roku. If you're watching on Roku or you're watching on the website, that's indiesoupmedia.tv, welcome in. And we've also got some other people watching on our Indie Soup Facebook channel, Indie Soup YouTube channel as well. So not Twitch today, but welcome in all y'all, all of you. Let's see who's here. My good friend, Dr. Harris, Dr. Nikita Harris, who is the head of the National Black Debutante Society. Is that right? I always mess up the last word. Well, you're really more than a society. You are a movement. And she was a guest on MediaScope a few weeks ago. You can check out the replay. Just go to the YouTube and you can watch. And also the Facebook, the replay is there. Also, Keisha Clark is here. What is up, Keisha Clark? Good to see you. She says hello in my Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello. Yeah. And she is the voice. And by the way, she is if you watch Indie Soup, we haven't put it up yet, but she is the voice of the disclaimer. So thank you so much for that. Also, G.R. Houston Jack, whose show comes up after mine. Make sure you're watching Small Biz Bites. She's absolutely amazing. So if you're watching on Indie Soup Media, the show that comes up after mine is Small Biz Bites. That is at 7 o'clock. I'm going to try and respect her time. You know how hard it is for me. Thank you. Project, the National Black Debutante Project. I am so happy to have you here, my dear. Let's check out what's going on Instagram. Shug is here. Pretty Kitty Publishing has joined. We also have fantastic Fantastic Record and Film Works. I always mess that up. How are you, my friend? By the way, Fantastic Record and Film Works does this wonderful thing on K102. Is it K102digital.com? Please put the address inside there. And by the way, anybody else who has a live stream or who does has a podcast, put it in the chat so we can share. Listen, this is the age, not just the year, the age of the independent content creator. Gone are the days where we're begging other people to put our things out there because we don't have to. Now, that doesn't mean traditional media doesn't count. Of course it does. They walked so we could all run now. So, and they also put up gates so we couldn't get in. So guess that's why we're here, right? So, but we love traditional media, but we could do our own thing. In the words of Heavy D, we got our own thing, for those of you who remember that. Hannah Boyd Miller is here. Also, that B74, Betty, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome. Thank you. He says it's K102digital.com. On Sundays, he does something called Sunday Snacks. Amazing music. So tune in to him. He is DJ Tony Tone there. So make sure you're listening to DJ Tony Tone. He's amazing. He really is. And we have a lot of fun. Zoila, how are you? My friend from the Elling of the A, from LA. Welcome, Zoila. It is wonderful to see you. All right, let's see. Do we have everybody? Yes, Heavy D and the boys. May he rest well. All right. Well, we've got lots of things going on, but before I start anything, I have to welcome you with a hug because you're coming into my house. I'm not giving you any food. Well, unless in the food truck comes, you heard me, unless in the food truck comes, which I think may be today, but one arm, two arms, gives you a big hug. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you. I really, honestly do appreciate you all being here. You could be any place else, but you chose to be here with me. For that, I'm forever grateful. Yay, wonderful. Let me make sure I am not missing any comments. Let's see. That B says, hey, everyone, what's up? Miss Elise is here, the political force herself. Welcome. I think I said hey to you, Hannah Boyd Miller. If not, I'm saying hey to you again. Y Terry has also joined. She says, hello. Zigga later. I like that. That's kind of cool. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Oh, Y Terry says, I have my snacks already. I'm not waiting for you people before I get my snacks. So she's got her snacks. Go ahead and get your snacks. Get your libations. I've got a bottle of water here to sip on just in case the spirit moves me to do so. So we're going to, in speaking of spirit, we're in the spirit of media, tech, and pop culture. We're going to get started. All right. So hold on. We've got received and reciprocated. Thank you for that hug. I appreciate. Yes. All right. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get started. We've got some things to do. I'm trying to be respectful of my station mate. It's not a label. It's a network mate. Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack with Small Biz Bites. So even if for some reason I happen to go over, you all go over there. If you're watching on Indie Soup, go over there. Guess what? Maybe you have two devices. You can watch us both because unfortunately I had to start a little late today, but it is what it is. So we're going to get started. Let's see. What will we start? We shall start with a little bit of media. Here we go. All right, media time. Let me preface this by saying, and those of you who have been here for a while, you already know, but I'm prefacing this by saying we don't do politics or politricks here. We're not going to do it. The only time I bring up something is when it is related to media, tech, or pop culture. So you'll hear me talk about something that the FCC may have decided. I mean, it's supposed to be apolitical. We all know it's not. But, government things will come in there. But this is interesting. Something that has happened in real life has affected something in the media world. Well, in fact, let me just put up the photo. Here we go. Photo one. So on the left, you see Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who played the lead in the show Veep. On the right, you have Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the actual Veep. Now, what do the two have to do with each other? Well, Veep viewership has soared 350% after President Biden endorsed VP Kamala Harris for president, for the presidential bid. Now, this is very interesting. So this is a case of art imitating life, or life imitating art, but whatever the case may be. So it's interesting because this may have been the predictor of this happening, right? Not really, but we like to act like we know a little bit of something. But it's interesting that has happened, because what usually happens is when something happens, and watch this, it's not just going to be with this. When that stupid Twisters is coming. I'm sorry, I shouldn't call it stupid. But my thing is, like, some things you should just leave alone. We don't need a reboot, a reimagining, or a reprise of everything, right? So there is a show coming out. Again, is it a show or is it actually a film? Somebody help me. Bryson, if you're here, help me. So it's coming out, and it is, I believe, a reimagining, not a reboot, but like a reimagining of the movie Twister. Now, what's going to happen when that comes out? Two things. People are going to go for the original, and I bet you any amount of money, we're going to see an increase in search results for tornadoes, right? So when something comes out like that, you start to see I wonder if, and they go and look it up. So it's not just because of this, because of what happened with Vice President Kamala Harris getting the presumptive nominee at this point. It's not just that. It's whenever anything happens in real life and there's a counterpart in fiction, you're going to see a rise in interest in that. So I find that interessante indeed. Let's take some comments as we're going. Let's see. GR says, I have two devices. Do your thing. Thank you. But no, I have to learn to be respectful. I've been you know why I've been disrespectful? Because it's been just me all this time. Now I have to share, and that's hard. You know, when you're a child, which I am, it's hard to share, but no, I actually love to share. I don't know. You all are so great. I love to keep talking. Yes, 350% interest in the show Veep. Put in the chat if you've ever watched it. I never watched it, even when it was on. So I have no clue. I know it's, again, about somebody who was supposed to be the vice president of Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the vice president of the United States. But I've never watched an episode of Veep. If you were a Veep watcher, please let me know. Thank you. Keisha says it is a film, a reboot or a reimagining of Twisters. Okay, I'm not interested, but there are people who are going to see it and will be interested. So Twister was fine the first time, says G. There was no need for a second dose. Listen, once I've had my one dose of antibiotics, I don't need I'm fine. I'm fine. But what say you all? What say you? Let's go hop on over to Instagram. 2Diva for You is here. Hello, how are you? Thank you. Bryson said it's out right now already. Thank you. And we're talking about Twister. Isn't it with an S though? Twisters? Stupid. I'm sorry. I keep saying that and I should not. That is so wrong. I apologize to all the fine people who worked on and acted in Twisted. Ooh, did I say that? I did. Twisters. Anyway, Lainey Lane is here. How are you? Good to see you. Kelly has also joined us. It is wonderful to have you here. Hello. Lou Vibe says they refuse to mention climate change, so it's stupid. Okay, I said Lou Vibes. Love you, Vibes. Yeah, you know what? This is where things start to get political. And I think sometimes, I shouldn't say sometimes, all the time, unless it's a movie that deals with politics specifically, they are trying to entertain. They don't want to turn people off. There are many people who don't believe that climate change is a real thing, that global warming is a real thing, and they want their money too. Hollywood wants their money too. And so at the risk of messing up anybody's dreams, hopes, and dreams, they tend to leave those things out. We may know it's real and we may accept it as a thing, but we're not the people they're trying to convince, right? So it's the other people that they want everybody's money. So let's stay away from politics altogether. So yeah, it is dumb. But I guess then the first twister kind of predict. No, let me be quiet. Let me be quiet. Let me be quiet. So Love You Vibe said, this is what I heard, but I'm not going to see it. Nor am I. I am not interested in the least in seeing this. Monica says, hey, how are you, Monica? Good to see you. Thank you. Bryson says, yes, it is with an S, twisters, plural. This just seems like fool. Let me keep quiet because somebody else's, my foolishness is somebody else's vibe. I'll just keep quiet. Lovey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Why Terry says, I saw the first Twister. I don't want to see the remake. Why? What do you have to tell us now about these funnel clouds that caused destruction? Is it now going to be an EF-75? What is this? But let me be quiet. But these are the things that I get, shall I say, frustrated about with the same old that we're seeing. You mean to tell me you're sitting here and telling me in 2024, in the year of our Lord, that there was no other story that you could put forth that would make, if that's what you think, I'll allow you to think that. Let me let you have your hopes and dreams. Let me let you have that. Anyway, Miss Goody Two Shoes, it is good to see you here. We all love a Goody Two Shoes. Welcome. All right. Yeah, the earth is flat. Yeah, flat. These are the same people that think the earth is flat. And there are some flat earth people. Personally, I don't know why you would waste your time when the facts are there. You are not going to convince me. So these are the people that don't sail in boats or whatever because you think you'll fall off the edge. How very Nina de Pinta and Santa Maria of you. Anyway, Ask Mark Ward has joined us. Ed says, you hadn't heard, don't get too close to the edge to G. Exactly, listen. Joe Wilson is here. Oh my goodness. If you've ever heard me quote, we are all famous to a few people, this is the brainchild of my good friend, Joe Wilson. Joe, how the heck are you? Welcome. He says, what makes climate change fake is that the earth is flat. Wow, we're not going to get good ratings from the flat earth people. But do you see concern on my face? Not at all. Not at all. Mark Ward says, here we go. There are also people who believe, yes, the earth is flat. Their movie has yet to be made. I can't wait. I can't wait. Bring it on. Bring on the challenge. Anyway, hey, Shadow, what's up? How are you? The underlying theme was also about land grabbing by developers after a disaster. Interesting. Now, you know what? That would make it interesting. But the thing that they need a better trailer then. Because that one did not come up at all unless I'm seeing a different trailer. I don't recall that at all. And also, usually there are two things that happen with trailers. The movie puts in all their best stuff. So you see the trailer, you see the movie, you're like, okay, this movie is pointless. I've already seen everything in the trailer. Or they don't have very much substance to put in the trailer, and so it ends up being all about tornadoes. Those are the two scenarios. So it is what it is. But you know what? Again, kudos to the good people at Twisters with an S who made this all happen. So it's supposed to be offering a 4D experience, according to Keisha. The seats shake, the wind and the mist blows on you. Okay. I can open my windows in my car and while it's raining, I'll get that too. Just saying, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I do like the experience of the theater becoming the fourth character, right? Or a character, I should say in the movie. And that's interesting. So just so that you know, that whole thing of having that like seat shake and the noise, that's called extra diegetic. So diegesis is everything that happens in the movie, right? But the moment it involves you as an individual, that's extra diegesis or extra diegetic. Just some film terminology, just in case you wanted to know. I've always been fascinated by that, but now you've got something there. Let's see. Yes, that's right. Plenty of tornadoes, but no Helen Hunt and Bill Yeah, Bill Paxton. Exactly. Yeah, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. And Bryson, by the way, he is on Instagram, but G says hey to you, Bryson. Here we go. And Joe Wilson says tornadoes without sharks, they still do. They do. I know. How can it not be a Sharknado? See, Sharknado has messed up the seriousness of anything. Like, if this was supposed to be a serious message, sorry, Sharknado messed that up for us. Wow. What a life. Anyway, here we go. Okay. It's also called expensive. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and G says she loves Sharknado. Okay. Well, good for you with the Sharknado-ness. All right, let's see what's happening over on Instagram. Dea is here, the Dominican Queen. How are you? Miss Bespoke has joined. Hello, Miss Bespoke. Woody's World is here. Hello, Woody's World. Miss Bespoke says, love the original Twister, had the VHS. Without Helen? Now, you see, you said VHS. That is some ancient technology there. Village technology. VHS. Fantastic. I was about to say Fantastic Sam's. Do you all remember? Do y'all remember said Fantastic Sam's like from back in the 80s? They gave these like haircuts that were because they were probably only like $3 haircuts, so they weren't that great. I never went. It wasn't for my hair. So Fantastic Record and Fieldwork says, was that Shadow Stokes legendary record promoter from E1? I don't know. Good question. Bestie is here. My bestie. How are you? Bryson gives us a little bit of news as well. Now, this Friday, we have the biggest summer blockbuster of all time, Deadpool and Wolverine with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Who's going to see it? Yeah, put it in the chat if you're going to see it. And I do have a story about that. That's going to open, and it's expected to open to some. This is the summer blockbuster, right? We'll see, but let me know who is going to see it. 26 no show. How are you? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So what's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes? Is it not Sharknado? Twisters? Okay. Let me know. All right. 100% or whatever on Rotten Tomatoes or Pink Grapefruit, whatever. Hey, Paul G is here. What's up, Paul G? He says, hey, Doc, how are you, my friend? Welcome in. Thank you so much. 1/4 of the Gentleman's Corner that is on hiatus until, I believe, September. Let me know if I am correct. But thank you for being here. All right, so that is what is happening. So again, the story is that we've got a 350% jump in people watching and interested in the show Veep, which was on HBO, which is now Max. Don't ask me about why, but HBO, formerly Max, Max, formerly HBO. And so people are interested because of the recent events with Vice President Kamala Harris. All right, well, let's go on to the next story, shall we? We do have some other stories. Let's go. All right. Here we go. Who's watching Bridgerton? Have you finished Bridgerton? Listen, I think, in my opinion, Bridgerton is so well written. It is one of the most well-written shows that we have now. It is very difficult to do a period piece. It is very difficult to do a period piece and have it basically historically accurate. Now, again, this is fictionalized history, right? Because real history is not always interesting, but this is fictionalized history. And what's happening here is that now you were seeing Bridgerton. So you're probably guessing that, yes, we do have a season 4 of Bridgerton coming. So if you were like me and I'm like 8 episodes, that's it. Don't worry. We do have a season 4 coming. And it is official that Benedict, who is the eldest Bridgerton brother, who's played by Luke Thompson, he is absolutely going to be the lead for the 4th season of Bridgerton. let me take this down. So yes, so if you are loving his face, you're going to love his face in the fourth season of Bridgerton. And according to the Hollywood Reporter, they say this: dearest gentle reader, it's official. Bridgerton's fourth season will focus on Benedict, played by Luke Thompson. So I used to have a really good British dialect, central British, general British dialect. It's not as good anymore because I don't use it as much, but maybe one day I'll dust it off. All right, so this was confirmed by Netflix's X account on Tuesday. People still use X anyway on Tuesday. And they also said, it has been brought to this author's attention that perhaps it's time to unmask the newest suitor of the marriage mart. Benedict Bridgerton's story is coming next season. All right, so that is who we have coming up next season, who will be the lead, playing Benedict Bridgerton by Luke Thompson. So tell me, are we Bridgerton fans? Let's take some comments here. All right. Let's see. Okay, G says she's waiting for the Dragon Prince. Okay. And Mark Ward says he loved Queen Charlotte. Yes, Queen Charlotte was just exquisite, an exquisite piece of writing. The costumes were exquisite. And here's the mark of a really good show. And if you see me wave, I live in the tropics. Something is flying, okay? So here's the mark of a really good show. When you get lost in the world of the show, and nothing else matters. You feel like you're there. Even though you do notice the exquisite costumes, you do notice the great setting, you do notice that the acting is great, but you don't get lost in it and caught up in it. It's like when you have a show that is so good, right? But then you get taken out of the show because you see a microphone or there's something that doesn't, that type of thing. In that case, the writing or the show may not be as engaging. It doesn't mean it's not, but may not be as engaging if you're noticing every single little thing. Now, if you're like me and you're trained to look for those things, that's another thing. But just looking at it as a person, a regular person, a film or a television show or whatever type of media, when you get lost, it's good. And that's how I feel with Bridgerton and Queen Charlotte. I got lost. There are some other ones like that. So let's see. Lifestyle by B. Campbell. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. She says hello to me and the MediaScope Massive. Keisha Clark says, watched Bridgerton. It was good. Absolutely. And Mark Ward says, I use my British dialect on planes when someone insists on chatting. Oh, wow. How does that work for you? And let's see. And D. Carpio is here and says, hello, beautiful people. Hello, D. How are you? Welcome. Folks, if you're just joining us, welcome to the fold. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. My name is Dr. Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer and journalist. I'm here every Wednesday, and that's at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Gospel 107.1 FM. On Thursdays, you can listen to the replay of this. And Gospel 107 has some other really wonderful shows in addition to inspirational music if you are into that. So check that out. Let's keep going. Let's hop on over to Instagram. By the way, Facebook, if you're leaving comments for some reason, they're not populating. So I have to physically check. So I'm appreciating you. Same thing with LinkedIn. I have to physically check. So Miss Bespoke says, I agree. Queen Charlotte was the best season. Bessie says, I love the show, but one day I was watching with my 70-year-old mom and the guy basically, there was a love scene. Those can be very awkward, to say the least, if parents are there. It's like, why now, right? Absolutely. Miss Bespoke said, I'll take 8 high quality episodes over 18 subpar episodes. So bingeable. Absolutely, you're right. I don't feel dissatisfied with the 8, right? You want more, but I felt like, okay, I'm fed. It's like when you go to a restaurant, right? And you go to a restaurant and the food is subpar. It may be a smorgasbord. It may be a whole buffet. But if it's a buffet of rubbish, you still leave hungry. This was not a buffet of rubbish. This was a buffet of substance. I submit to you. It was good. It was good. Pretty ASA doll, GRC, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Hey, Unique Natasha, it is good to see you. Happy to have you in the fold. Okay, I think Dr. Vibe is here. The Dr. Vibe Show, home of epic conversations. He does conversations almost every day of the week. We carry the Dr. Vibe Show and also Prime Time with Aisha and Lala, and we also do Black Canada Talking of his. He has a lot of shows. So welcome in, Dr. Vibe. It is good to have you. Okay, let me make sure. Oh, we got to get him in before we move on. The food plane is here over on the YouTube side and says hello to me and to fellow media scopers. Yes, hello to the media scopers, Mediascope Massive, whatever you want to call yourselves. Thank you for being here. Carlos Phoenix is also here and says good morning as usual. It doesn't matter what time of day. It's morning somewhere, so he always says good morning. Hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So let's keep going on. That is the news there that we do have a season 4 coming, and it is going to be centered around Benedict for those of you who were interested. Oh, I have another lovely, lovely piece of news, which I'm sure you shall be interested in. Let's see. All right, let's put up this photo. Come on, who's this? You know who this is. It's Martin Lawrence, but not just Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence. Now, for those of you who listen to TKBS Pop Gumbo, the segment that I do, usually goes up on Wednesdays or Thursdays. I'm going to be talking about this. So you may want to watch tomorrow also for Pop Gumbo, but we have something interesting. Have you know, first of all, let me take this down so you can see my face. Have you all noticed a resurgence of 90s nostalgia? For some reason, and I don't know why the 90s are so hot right now, but there has been a huge resurgence of 90s fashion, 90s shows. Is there any such thing as 90s food? I don't know. What would that be? Sizzler? Ponderosa? I don't know. But there's been a huge resurgence of 90s culture. And we see it all over social media. One of the biggest shows of the 90s was, in fact, Martin, created and starring Martin Lawrence. And let's put it back up. Guess what's happening? Martin has a prequel drama series in the works from Martin Lawrence, Bob Yari, and Wonder Hill Studios. Yes. So now one of the highlights of this year's Emmy Awards was a Martin cast reunion. If you watch the Emmys, you probably saw that. So we're tapping into 90s sitcom nostalgia. We see it all over the place. It is huge pop culture news. Now, here's what's happening. There is a reimagining of Martin coming. They are producing a reimagining of Martin. It is going to be called Young Martin, and it's going to be an hour-long drama. I said it, an hour-long drama. So let me give you something that closely mirrors it. If you watched Bel-Air, now you know how Bel-Air was a reimagining, but a drama of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is going to be something similar. This is how Deadline Hollywood is describing it, that it is a reimagining, but a drama of Martin. Let me know if you're here for this. Let me know if you're here for this. All right. So it's going to be the origin story of Martin Payne, him as a teenager navigating becoming an adult, right? So that's what this is about. But I want to know, are you here for it? Or is this one of the things that we need to let live in pop culture, 90s pop culture history? Are you here for it? Yay or nay? Let me know. Let's start to take some comments here. Mark Ward says, I'm launching a reimagining of MediaScope. It's with a white guy with no media experience and no news. Mark Ward, you win. I'm waiting for your special, your Netflix special. You win. Let's see. Food Plane says this was one of the first sitcoms that many of us could relate to. Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't even remember how I started watching. I do. I was in my dorm room at Howard, I think. I don't think I was in high school. So I was, yeah, it had to be my dorm room at Howard that I was watching watching this. So absolutely. Uh every show was hilarious. It was corny and hilarious at the same time, right? Oh, and Carlos says I was buddies with Tashina Arnold. Really? Really? I got to interview her when she was on Survivor's Remorse back in, was this 2014? It was one of these American Black Film Festivals and I got to interview so many people. It's still up on my Facebook page, I think. So I'll have to go back through. I think it was 2014, but yeah, I got to interview Tashina Arnold. She was so wonderful, so sweet. I remember her going back to, I don't know if you all remember this series of children's shows called Wonderworks, and they basically adapted books and turned them into like after school specials, right? Kind of like the ABC after school special, but this was on PBS. And I think Wonderworks was a Canadian I think it was a Canadian production. So anyway, I think, but I could be wrong. So anyway, Tashina Arnold was in one, and it was based off of Virginia Hamilton's book, The Ghost of Dies Dreer. Is it The Ghost or The House of Dies Dreer? It was either the House of Dies Dreer. So it was really interesting. So she was in that, and she was really young at the time. I remember, that's how far back I remember Tashina Arnold, from the House of Dies Dreer. Anyway, let's see. It was genius to have the whole Pam and Martin at each other thing throughout the whole series. Listen, they were saying that was the 90s generation Aunt Esther and Fred Sanford. The way they went at each other, it was that same type of dynamic. Let me make sure. She says, Martin. I know, right? No T, not Martin, but the way I say it. Yeah, Marty Marr. Exactly. And the Food Place says I had the pleasure of meeting Martin a few years ago on the set of a movie. He was a kind dude. See, that's always nice to hear those stories when you meet people and they're very kind. So it's not so nice. I've met some people and they're not that kind. I'm like, I'll never. You're off my list. Forever. So Ms. Bespoke says, I remember her and Tisha on the Rags to Riches in the 80s. Yes, Rags to Riches in the 80s. Absolutely. AI the Jedi is here. How are you? Ms. Bespoke also says, Martin is one of 3 sitcoms I technically never stopped watching and see it at least once a week. Yeah, it's on all the time, right? So if you want Martin is available. Candy Sakai is here all the way from Tokyo. How are you? Or just outside Tokyo. Welcome. And it is like, actually, it's morning for you, right? It's about to be 7 a.m. So welcome. And I know that because my sister lives in Asia and you all are on the same time zone. All right, Joyful Connections Live Coaching. It is wonderful to have you here. Miss Elise says that should be interesting. Yes. So we had going back now to this. Are we here for a reboot of Martin as a drama? Fantastic says yes. Miss Bespoke says yes, I think, right? It seems that Creed's Classy Bling, how are you, my friend? Welcome. And Lovey says, I remember Tashina Arnold on the soap Ryan's Hope. That's right. Now, I hated soap operas when I was little, probably because my babysitters were all stuck to them. I'm like, this is boring. Is there no Sesame Street or cartoons or children's educational programming I could be watching? You're supposed to be doing something with us not sitting here watching, but all my babysitters, except for one, Dorothy, my favorite. She was a little older and she had a whole bunch of kids that she would always watch. She let us, I remember at 3:00, the old Batman used to come on. And for some reason, I loved it. That and Spider-Man. By the way, I was Spider-Man for Halloween like 3 times when I was little. Don't ask why. I was. And I used to be scared of the mask. I could be Spider-Man, but I couldn't look at the mask in the mirror because then I would lose head. Anyway, I think I told you that before. But any case, that's why I wasn't into it. I just never was into it. And therefore, any of these things like Dynasty, Falcon Crest, the Colbys, I wasn't into because they have the same format as soap operas. So people used to watch also the have and the have nots. Didn't get into it because it's too soap like for me, too soap opera like. Anyway, so hey, she's driving. Creed, please be safe and be careful. Yes, the old Batman with Adam West. I used to love that. And Eartha Kitt as Catwoman. Let's see. And Miss Bespoke will watch Tisha and Tashina Arnold on Little Shop of Horrors for nostalgia's sake every once in a while. Oh, sorry. Tropics. You know, next time I'm going to have spray and you'll be sorry. I don't know why it's here. Anyway, Diva Yasmin says Knots Landing. Yeah, wasn't for me. Wasn't for me. Candy liked the classic Superman. Really? I never got into into Superman. But Spider-Man, I think it's because I'm more of a Marvel girl than I am a DC girl. That's why. All right, here we go. Although I like the old Batman. Okay, that's DC. So I'm cool with that. But yeah, it is. But Superman, nah. Anyway, all right. So let's keep going. That's what's happening there. And I'll let you know they don't have a date as to when this is going to take place or when this is happening, but I will definitely let you know as I get some more details on that and where it's going to appear. I don't have any details on where it's been picked up, where we can view it, or when we can view it, but I will let you know. All right. So we are going to keep going. Welcome. The McRib. What are we talking about? Where did that come from, Carlos? McRib? Wow. And Food Play says that show was legendary. It absolutely was. And Food Play says Christopher Reeves was the best Superman to him, part 1 and 2. Yeah, I mean, really, to be honest, no, I don't know. I don't really know any other Superman. Again, I'm Marvel, so I'm not following along. But there were some other Supermans I think that I know. I don't know. I know the Batmans, but Superman I don't. Anyway, of course. Let's see. So Bryson says everybody watch Incredible Hulk with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno. Yes, I used to. I used to want. I'm like, how is he turning into this? Hulk, I was like fascinating. So I used to be fascinated with the Incredible Hulk. That, and you know how he used to rip his clothes, like all of us used to try and rip pants and stuff. No, that wasn't happening. Anyway, so yeah, absolutely. Bryson, yeah, absolutely. But Bryson is, pop culture king and entertainment king. So it makes sense that he would know this. All right, let's move right along because as I said, I have a network mate that's up now. Her show is an hour, so definitely after we finish this, make sure that you check in over there to Small Biz Bites. It's going to be really good this week. All right, let's see. I'm only going to do a few more, then I'm going to let you go because I respect your time, kind of. Because I won't get off. So, but let me be respectful of your time. And let's see. Let's go to, I want to talk about this story because I found this very, very fascinating. Let's go over here. All right. So this is interesting. Now, we all know that teenagers and young people like Gen Z and Gen Alpha, when you ask them what they want to be, it's like, oh, I want to be an influencer or a content creator. And listen, I am not mad at them at all. It's a job. I don't know why people keep saying, oh, well, that's not a job. Now, you may not get paid heftily for it, but you have to, it's a business. It's your own business. So you get paid as much as you work and get brand deals and that type of thing and are able to monetize. So the key thing is it's not that it's not a job. It's just that it can be difficult sometimes to monetize. You have to work very hard, right? So don't let anybody tell you it's not a job, kids. It is. But if you want to pay rent, you may have to do something else too. Just letting you know. So we already know that kids want to be content creators. Young people want to be content creators. But what about adults? Yep. Good and terrible. So it turns out that a new study from influencer marketing agency IZEA, or IZEA, I don't know how you say it, it's IZEA. 54% of people in the US between the ages of 18 and 60 would quit their jobs if they could make a living as a content creator, a full-time content creator. My dear, I don't blame you. If you could, that's basically essentially being your own boss, right? It is a business. There are so many terrible workplaces now. Honestly, the workplace has gotten out of hand. It is about the bottom line. And obviously, that's why it's a business. They're there to make money. But they forgot that people are the reason that they exist, to serve, and the people that they help, that help them serve. Many businesses have lost sight of that. And so many workplaces are so terrible. Why do you think people are like, oh, thank God it's Friday? People are so on the countdown. Every day is Friday Eve, Friday Eve, Eve, Friday Eve, 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 Friday Eve. Everything leads to the weekend because so many people can't stand being at work. And so I can see why there are some adults that would say, especially if they enjoy content creation, if I can do this full time and let this be my full time thing, see you. Goodbye. I won't see you again. Take my desk and give it to the next person because I no longer need it. I no longer need your services of employment. I've got my own. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. So 54%, that's over half of adults between the ages of 18 and 60 would quit their jobs. That's like the whole workforce. People, the whole workforce would quit their job. If they, even though now there's so many more people, obviously, that work way past 60, but that's like the whole workforce. That's a problem. That indicates a problem with you, corporate America. That indicates a problem with you, work life. That's a problem. People would say, I would leave you in a minute, and not because they can't stand you. You have a problem, and you don't seem to care. Okay, keep not caring. I'm just saying. Before I go on, let's take some comments and see what's what. Mark Ward said, you can influence me now by cleaning your room. My room is clean. Okay. I keep the house clean. By the way, I'm still to say I didn't get a chance to go back to my other spot because I had another shoot. All right. But next week I will be back in my regular spot so you can see the expanse. I don't know. I miss it. Let's see. Elise is laughing. Miss Elise is laughing. Absolutely. Absolutely. People cannot stand, not all. Some people love their job. And I'm not going to ask you all in case some of your employers are looking, but there are a lot of people who are like, if given the chance, I would burn down this whole establishment. I would flood this whole thing with dam waters. So employers need to look at how they're treating the people that make it work for them. Just saying. Cookie Hamburger has joined. How are you? Welcome. Miss Bespoke says this. People are tired of being the working poor. Can we put an underline and an asterisk next to this and bold? People, she says, people are tired of being the working poor. 40 to 60 hours a week and still struggling. No point. Exactly. When you're talking about looking at rent, inflation, but then you talk about looking at rents in some cities, you're looking and you're like, I'm sorry, this is the middle of nowhere. You want $2,000 a month for this? This has got to be the introduction to the opposite sketch because this can't be real. So when you look at things like that, you are working to survive, not working and thriving. And this is not everybody. This is not everybody's story, but this is I would say a large majority of workers in this country have this story. Hey, CQCLT, how are you? CQ Charlotte, how are you? Welcome. Carolina, I keep saying that. Carolina is here. How are you, my friend? Cannot beat working for yourself. Exactly. But be for sure that if you work for yourself, you will be working round the clock. Working for yourself is just like, sometimes people say, oh, I want to work for myself so that I have freedom. Well, you have to, as Shay Cannon says, schedule that time freedom, because that could just end up being another job that you don't get paid for. That's why so many people end up going back to work after some time, because it was too hard as an entrepreneur. So you really have to have strategy. This is not business talk. That's what we've got Small Biz Bites for. So, and we have a whole business slate of shows on Indie Soup Media, just to let you know. Pink Pearl Girl, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for being here. All right. So let's keep another figure that keeps rising is this, and this is according to Tube Filter. People who already consider themselves to be influencers, of the 1,217 people that IZEA surveyed, 26% said that they're currently content creators. Okay, so they didn't interview me, but that's me. I am a content creator. I would probably say that a good 75% of us in this chat, that we're all content creators, right? I would say that. And then maybe another 25% are not, but would like to be, because we see the purpose in it. We see how it can be helpful, and it's just fun. What can we work and have fun? Does it have to be drudgery? Must it be drudgery? Once it becomes drudgery, it is, you count down the days to when you don't have to be there. And to me, that's not an existence. Counting down the days to retirement, that is not an existence. And I understand that is the old way. That is the way that the US workplace was set up. But we can make a change. And I think that thought process is being reflected here. This is interesting. So if you actually, I will post this on my socials so that you all can see if you're interested in reading more about the article. But yeah, that's what's happening there. That is what is happening there. All right. Let's see. Fantastic says, go away. Fantastic says, absolutely work for yourself. Work for yourself. Welcome to Dina Moscow. Welcome to Vanika. How are you? And Blue Flame, it is good to see you. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. Miss Bespoke says, besides, the saying goes, people don't leave their jobs, they leave management. Very true. Very true. CQ Charlotte says, it is fun. It absolutely is. It is. And you're not going to guilt me into, listen, of course, you guys know I'm a professor and I still teach, but I'm not a full-time professor anymore. I remember and this is how I knew I am where I'm supposed to be. Quick story. When I had been out of full-time academia for a little bit, I got like at least, honestly, 5 people that called me saying, hey, are you looking for a new position? We have a position in our Department of Communication, da 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 da. And I remember a friend of mine was first with, hey, was down in Texas. He was like, hey, are you looking to relocate? Because we have a position here, and I think you would be perfect for it. So I thought for a minute, and I said, had you asked me 3 years ago, I may have considered it. But now I have no desire to be full-time tenure-track faculty for anybody's university. I still adore teaching students the principles of communication and how to do productions and things like that. But as far as being a full-time faculty member somewhere to deal with the wahala, no thank you. I'm good where I am. So that's how I know I am where I'm supposed to be, because I thought for a minute, I was like, yeah, no. Right? You think about some of the pluses and minuses. Oh, that's a steady check. But I'm like, is the check worth the wahala? Is that money worth the wahala? It's not for me. I like my peace. And that doesn't mean there are not peaceful university work settings. Yeah, but there's always one that you're like, oh, why are you here? Please go someplace else. There's always 1 or 2 or 3. Those of you that are, and this is any workplace, but those of you that are in the academy, there's always that one faculty member that you're like, oh, Always, always. And it could be you, but I know it wasn't me. I know I wasn't the one. I know it wasn't me. So anyway, all right, let's go. I think we've been on now for 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Let's do this. D says good decision. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anne is here. Anne Ellis. Oh my goodness. Month of Sundays. Welcome in, my friend. She says mortgages, rent, car, food prices are extreme. Absolutely. And she's joining us from Bookface. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. All right. Let me see. Do I want to do one more or will I let you all go and put these? You know what? You know what I think I'm going to do? No. I have to do this one because Bryson brought up Deadpool, and Deadpool is coming up this weekend. So let me know if you're going to see Deadpool. But so now we're seeing a whole bunch of Deadpool merch. Okay. So it seemed that everything I did today was really like media centered. I didn't give you any really tech or pop. Well, this is tech. Actually, this is a tech and a media story. So guess what we're going to do? I am going to play the tech intro. Here we go. All right. So that was the tech intro. And I have this for you. There's a question that we always ask on the Tech Divas on Fridays. Who asked for this? This is something that I always ask. In addition to my question of what the hell is this? So today on What the Hell Is This? I'll tell you what it is. This is an Deadpool Xbox controller. Yes, and it is in the shape of a behind. One is Deadpool, one is Wolverine. You know what I should have done? I should have given you the front because this is the back of it. There is a front side of it that is a regular controller. If you're an adult, 18 plus, you can get one of these legendary Deadpool Wolverine rivalry controllers by following the official Microsoft Instagram account and looking for posts with the hashtag Microsoft Cheeky Sweepstakes. I cannot make this up. So this is obviously a marketing stunt for this, okay? So they decided to promote this giveaway in true Deadpool fashion, right? They rented out a giant billboard in Alberta, Canada, and that's actually a nod to Wolverine's roots. I should have put some more of these things up. Some more pictures so you can see the different angles. So we all know that it is in cinemas on the 26th. So if you're interested, I don't know what to say. I want to know who wants this. Why would you want that? First of all, the back seems very bulbous and difficult to deal with. Why would you? Please, comments in the chat before we go. I need to see this. Yeah, Keisha Clark says, yeah, wow. D, I'm happy you caught the show too. You are one of the biggest supporters, and I love you for that. Let's see what Instagram has to say. Bestie is just laughing. I don't get this. Why? Hey, Tara, how are you? Welcome. Mangelo is here too. Michelangelo, it is good to have you. Danny Stone has also come in. Yeah, Fantastic says, oh, wow. CQ Charlotte says, what in the whole world? And that is a whole world. It really is. Oh, yeah, fantastic says there's always one in every company, which is about the one that's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. So I don't understand why Terry is laughing. I don't get the anatomy of this at all, but it is a gimmick and it is, I guess, truly Deadpool fashion. So you could get it again by going to Microsoft's, is it their Instagram page, and liking, and I think maybe it is a drawing. I'm not sure. So oh, you have to look for the post with Microsoft cheeky sweepstakes, and it will tell you how to proceed from there. I can't make this up. Hey Perry, welcome in, but you're coming in as we are going out. Folks, listen, you make my Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, I look forward to having you here. Thank you so very much for being here. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I appreciate every single one of you. You are the community. You all are MediaScope. It's so little about me. It's really about you all and the energy that you bring to the show. I love it because otherwise I would be talking to myself. That's no fun and it makes no sense. So, Paul Henderson, what is up? Good to see you. Paul Henderson and I were in undergrad together. So, good to see you, my friend. All right. Well, that's it for today. All right. So, again, we have you know what? I'm just going to play before we go, I'm going to play the Indie Soup promo where you can find us. Here we go. All right, it's already here. I keep forgetting to take that out, but that's where you can find us. Head over there now. You could go. It is at Indie Soup Media on all platforms. Right now is Gwendolyn Houston Jack and her show Small Biz Bites. It's a really good one today. Make sure you join us over there. Make sure you like us on all our social media platforms. We are trying to be the heart of the independent content creator, and we're trying to make some big moves. So follow us and enjoy the journey. So with that, I'm going to let you all go. Thank you for hanging in with me this long. I so appreciate you. Let's go to I love you for watching. I bid you adieu. You guys, myself, all of these stories and this information, look for the other ones in my feed. We are exiting stage left. Until next week, my friends. Cheers.
Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you what you way. The content it never stays, but positive and uplifting. Once a week the scope's gifted. There's zero buffet, hydration like Boucher. Don't focus on a date. We always here for you. See it so when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversation.